Welcome to episode 191 of the Muck Podcast, a member of the Odd Pods Media Network. Listen in as we discuss the dark and sometimes weird true stories in American politics. I'm Tina Hadamiya.
And I'm Hillary Doherty, who will be drunk very soon. So let's just call this the drunk episode.
Getting that drink on.
Girl, this is what happens. It's almost like I feel like
weeknight recording.
Yeah, cheers.
Hey,
cheers.
Salud.
I sometimes feel like I have to. Like, why are we recording at night if I'm not going to have a drink? I don't understand. I don't have my kids right now. Come on, man.
Listen. Anything that helps.
Also, like, we're recording early in the week. We usually record on Saturdays, but we're doing early because we have too many things happening this weekend.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
I like it too. But I also feel like the news cycle is like slow because I'm trying to find things to talk about.
I have a couple of things.
I have like
one I sent you today.
Yeah. And I have one political thing. Everything else is just like, feels like, here's my first thing. I walked outside at lunchtime today and I was like, oh, the weather's, it's getting better.
Yes.
And I'm like, it's gotta be, I don't know how it could be. I get in my car, 93 degrees.
But that feels cool.
So I wanted to bring it up because I started laughing so hard to myself and I was like, of course 93 degrees feels like it's cool outside. In Florida, our skin, we're like lizards, right? Like,
and it's
lizard
been exceptionally hot. And you know what's funny is I walked by a coworker this morning. I get to work very early in the morning. You know, it's like right before 7.
Yeah.
And he was like, the temperature's changing. I was like, yeah, it actually feels decent.
And actually September,
by noon, it kind of, you know, was hot again, but it's still nicer than it's been.
It is. You feel it. The humidity is less, and it also means something else is coming. Like, I don't know. I always feel like this is an October weather. This isn't a September weather. So something's
There's a storm of brewing.
Yeah. And also, I'm a consummate pessimist, so I always feel like the other shoe. I'm like Carmi from The Bear, which I just finished watching season 2 with my daughter. I've now watched that show, both seasons, 3 times.
I need to watch it again. See, I've only done it once.
You have to, because I have seen so many things that I did not see the first time. Even the third time, I go, I don't remember that. Like, maybe I was looking at my phone for a second. Like, who knows why you missed
Or
things.
you focus on something else.
Yeah,
and
like someone's talking and you're not looking at what's happening over here. I'm obsessed with that show.
I'm watching a stupid show.
Okay.
I
want to tell you about another thing I'm watching.
It's called Jury Duty.
I told you about Jury Duty.
You're the one that told me about it.
It's so fucking good. So stupid. What's wrong with you? Don't you love it?
I do, but it's like I'm torn.
Why?
Because it's like Truman Show.
Yes, it's exactly what it is.
It's Truman Show, and this guy. So I just got to the reveal where he sits at the
and the
judge says to him like, "Hey, this is my first time," and then it's like, and that's where it ended. So I'll have to pick it up later tonight.
Which is great. The next,
and he's so cute. He is adorable, and
whoever
he's nice,
did this casting, they do exactly yes.
It's like just like a good person, and he's taking it so seriously.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that kind of makes me feel bad is like like all these people are manipulating him.
It's true,
and they're all lying to him.
But so you'll feel better after the next episode.
I mean, I hope I'm sure that he's gonna be like, yeah, this is cool. And I looked it up, like, did they pay this man? And they did. He got $100,000.
Yeah.
For doing this. But, like, you know, they take him away from everything and they mess with him. And, I mean, thank God he's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. But, like, as far as, like, fucking with him, so I saw an interview with him, like, after the show had come out, whatever. Yeah. And he was saying, it was with James Marsden, who, by the way, how much do you fall in love with James Marsden?
Well, he's adorable.
Yeah,
he is adorable. He's a little dimpled.
I couldn't care less about him before this.
But he plays such a jerk.
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's so funny. Like, he's so,
he's so funny.
Hopefully he's not that into it, but, like, the way he is about, like, not he flips the cake.
Yeah.
And, he's so consumed with himself.
Yeah.
And, it's so good.
With the blender. But also, like, he's like, and he's laughing at the script. He goes, "Oh, the script is scary."
The script is so silly.
There was an interview with James Marsden, and he said that he got a call. Like, now he's, this guy's now friends with all the people who were acting on the show, and he got a call from, or he was talking to James Marsden on the phone, and he said, is it done though? Like, are they still, like, he was thinking they were still filming him. He was like a little paranoid that it was like still happening.
Oh no.
I know, which is kind of,
yeah.
I mean, go immediately into therapy after this.
Yes.
But I think that
it's an invasion. I mean, I like that it was like, oh, you're on this documentary, so like he's used to the cameras being around, so, but.
I love the security, security officer.
Oh my God, she's adorable.
Beautiful, she was so good.
Adorable.
So, I want to say, here's something I want to say about a television show. Fuck Woody Allen. Okay?
Oh, well, probably decided
probably.
that already.
But I want to reiterate it because this old pedophile piece of shit fuck was walking on the red carpet with his wife/daughter, Soon-Hee, and their adopted daughters, which, by the way,
oh no,
somebody, please.
How could she even?
At the Venice Film Festival, he's got a new movie. How, in what universe is this okay? So it reminded me that there was a documentary on HBO. It's 4 episodes. It's fucking incredible. It's either I think it's Alan V. Farrow. It's so fucking good.
I need to
you
watch
have to watch it. Like, you think you know, you don't know shit. It is incredible what he did after the accusations. He immediately got in the press and started to try to sway everybody one way. There were people on his side. There were investigations shut down by the city of New York. I'm telling you, it is fucking crazy. He is a full-on fucking pedophile. Yeah. Look at the fucking documents. And this isn't an RFK, like, go look at what the experts say. Go watch the documentary. It's wild shit. And I can't believe this 82-year-old sack of shit has the nerve to fucking walk around and make movies. It's such an epic failure on our part as a society.
It is.
It really is.
And there's so many brilliant actors that absolutely love him. And I've heard several interviews with people who talk about like still doing work with Woody Allen.
Yeah.
And they
Diane Keaton, who I love.
Like this idea of like sort of separate, either they fully believe him or they have forgiven him. Or they just look at him as this like genius filmmaker. And he might be that thing. But it doesn't take away the other thing. Right. You know, like no one's going to be making like the Cosby Show reboot. You know what I mean?
Right.
No one's doing that. So why are we still...
A lot of actors won't work with him or have apologized for working with him since those accusations came out.
But
and donated like Timothée Chalamet donated his salary that he made on one of those films and after he had made it because he, didn't really understand. And so I don't get it. And apparently people are huge Woody Allen fans in the city of New York. Child abuse fucking cases. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. And that Mia Farrow is a fucking saint. Oh. She's a walking saint on earth.
Rosemary's Baby, right?
Yeah. That wasn't real.
I know.
Yeah, but
I mean, she was in that.
She's absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Like,
oh my god, beauty. She was married to Frank Sinatra, for Pete's sake. I mean, God,
how do you do that? How do you go from one to the other?
I don't know.
What is that transition?
I don't know. Jeez. She's had quite a life. But anyway, I just wanted to remind everybody that that's who we're talking about. This isn't some, and I hope you die soon. Okay, so can I say something about, one more thing before we talk about politics? So watching The Bear, I have Hulu where you have to, I have the commercials, all right?
Me too.
I don't have the big money.
Listen,
I'm not paying for no commercials.
Me too. Because guess what? When a commercial happens, I'm like, oh, let me go get a snack. Let me go do this. Let me look at my phone. Let me do a Wordle.
The only thing I pay for no commercials is Spotify because how dare you? Oh. Okay, so.
I do Apple, but I do pay for that, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so watching it with my daughter, I'm fully aware, like, we don't really watch commercials anymore. Everything's streaming. There's not usually commercials. And so there's a website called For Hims, and it's an incredible site because you as a dude, the commercial tells you, like, anything you're going through, you can go on there and talk to a doctor and tell them what's going on, and next thing you know, you have a prescription for whatever you want. But the thing that they're really, really pushing is for erectile dysfunction. And I figured it out. I have watched, now if I watch this show 3 times now, and there's 20, maybe there's 10, 4 commercial breaks at each episode. I've watched 80 of these commercials 3 times. So what is that? 240 times, right? It's always about their dicks can't get hard. And like they're pushing so hard to get these guys for their penises to work, right? And finally, at one point, maybe through halfway through season 2, I paused it and I was like, we need to have a conversation. Because there was one commercial for the website For Hers, which is the woman's side. Out of all those male commercials, there's one for the women's side that they have. And they offer prescriptions for hair loss, stress, anxiety, right? Weight control. And I thought, isn't that, after we watched that, I paused it and I turned to her. I said, I want you to really see what's happening here. Because on the other side of erectile dysfunction, when you cure it, that person's fucking, right? Like, let's be clear. We know why someone wants to get their dick hard, right? It's an embarrassing, it's a real thing. I get it.
Yes,
you need the medicine.
And they want intimacy.
Great.
But I have a problem with our prescription drug companies having commercials for prescription drugs. Like, I don't think there should be ads for any of it.
Yeah. But, and also, I don't know how this should be this easy.
Yeah.
And also, the other side of the dick getting hard is that they're fucking, and that if something happens to the woman, there's no health care for her.
No.
There's no website for her to go to and get help like this. You know, so like, why is it so, it's just such a patriarchy thing. And the one commercial I've seen for women is like stress, anxiety. Why do you think we're so fucking stressed out? Why do you think that is?
Oh my God.
It's because your dicks are getting hard and then we're left with the consequences of it. Pieces of shit.
It's true.
Okay, that's my rant about erectile dysfunction.
Well, like I said, Europe does not do this. There are not commercials from prescription drug companies targeting consumers. Like, that's not how it works in other countries. We're the only country that it's like this profitable, thing where you just can walk into a doctor's office and go, I saw this commercial for blah, blah, blah. Can I have this pill? It's wild to me.
It is.
Instead of just having a doctor who knows about certain medication and talks to you individually about what you're going through, but to have people come in and just go, I want this pill, and like be able to get it so easily, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. And I think that also, can't people lie about it and get it anyway? So they can just
know. If you're
fuck
just
for 12 hours? Like, I mean, isn't that what we're talking about? I mean, they're lying. But what about women? What about that? Like, what about making, it's just like not having access to abortion. Then make maternity care available. No. We don't care about what happens to women. We just care if you're not the right weight or your hair's falling out or you might be a little stressed. I mean, fuck off.
Oh my God.
All right, anyway, what?
I just had two things. The one I sent you earlier today, and it was that DeSantis has appointed Moms for Liberty co-founder Tina Descovich to the Florida Ethics Commission.
Right.
Which I feel is such bullshit. Like, you cannot have someone... Because there's a conflict of interest there.
Yeah.
Like, all of the stuff that she's pushing specifically about her, conservative slant, and they're supposed to be like the watchers over, our public officers, our employees, our teachers, and like you're in charge of that.
Yeah.
And you're not
she's ultra conservative. And let's not forget why she had to be appointed, because this guy who he had appointed to was on the ethics committee. Then he appointed him also to be on that Reedy Creek Disney board. And he, by the way, where he gets paid $400,000 a year.
That money.
Yeah. So that story is fantastic because the lawyers at that board were like, you can't do both.
Yeah.
You can't do both of these things. And he was like, well, we'll figure it out. Months and months go by. He's doing both jobs. And finally someone it was a Florida Bulldog, our friend Dan Christensen, a friend of the pod, published that story, and he had to resign from the ethics commission because he's not going to resign from the Florida board, Disney board, where he's making $400,000 a year.
Money.
We talk about ethics, so that's why he had to appoint this fool.
It's just ridiculous that's who he puts in there. And then the other thing that's equally crazy in the world of education is that they're going to be voting in the next couple of days about that classical exam that they want to use in lieu of the SAT and the ACT for colleges. And I believe UF, FSU are going to be like the first schools that are going to be accepting these exams. And the thing that I'm thinking about is, one, it's heavily Christian based. There's a lot of Christian thought on there, which is going to exclude a lot of students from the exam. And students who maybe they're like, yeah, I'm Christian, but like they don't go to church. They don't, you know what I mean? Like, like those Easter Christmas Catholics, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't know enough about this shit. And what about the teachers who have to proctor exams? A lot of schools do the PSAT that are done in school during school time. So is this something that they're going to be like, oh yeah, the school is going to offer a school-wide classical exam that's heavily weighted in Christian thought? How is that separation of church and state? And then as educators, do they have the option to say, I'm not comfortable with the ideology in this and I don't want to, administer this test?
So do kids have to take it, or can they still take the SAT?
They can, of course they can still take the SAT.
Okay.
But
so it's not replacing it yet.
Not
maybe
yet.
Maybe that'll be the next thing.
But that could be the next thing where they say, if you want to go to a Florida school, you have to take this one exam. Yeah. That's bullshit.
That'll be what happens.
But they can't do that. It's a Christian ideology, and not everyone is Christian. It is insane to me. That test was specifically for entering into Christian colleges.
Oh my God.
Right? That's what it's made for, not public universities. I've never seen such a level of hypocrisy. People who are stay out, government, government isn't going to parent my kids. Well, apparently they are. Apparently they're parenting them in Christian thought. Such garbage. But that's all I have.
The thing that's funny to me about the Moms for Liberty lady too is that we always talk about, I looked at her resume, I mean it's pretty stacked, but we always talk about where they come from, and they're really just this, soccer mom kind of idea of this is how far this woman has gone now. This is how far she's been using Moms for Liberty.
Yeah, it's the thing is, you don't want your kids reading whatever. You have the right to opt out of that. But you don't have the right to opt every child in the state of Florida out of curriculum that you personally don't align with. That's not parenting for all. You know what I mean? It's they don't even see that inconsistency within themselves.
Yes, the Tampa Bay Times had a article last week. I don't know. I'm sure that I'll send it to you, but they did a review of all of these books that have been banned and da-da-da. It's 2 people in the whole state
I saw that.
who have been doing it. They send these complaints from wherever they're sitting to counties all over the state. It's crazy.
Well, I'm in a group with it's just a bunch of different educators, and there was someone from West Palm who the list of things that are considered being banned outside of novels, Time Magazine, National Geographic Magazine, the New York Times Magazine. One was a cooking magazine, Duolingo for learning language.
Why? It doesn't make any sense.
They want anything that they think has a slight liberal lean to it.
Or ethnic, an ethnic is gone. Sort of thing that's not white.
Well, I was thinking about Duolingo because I do Duolingo, and some of the little stories that you read are it's very LGBTQ friendly. So if it's talking about a relationship or I'm waiting for so and so, it'll often be same-sex relationship.
Right.
Which I love about Duolingo is that it's it's a very open, and I'm like, oh, that's cool that they're not having the same.
But also, it's cool to you, but it's normal to the kids that are reading it. Let's not forget that they're trying to do this to a generation of children who have been raised with out parents, out friends, out neighbors, out family members. This is a normal thing to them. When my kids see a gay couple on TV, they don't think twice about it. Where we would go, oh, look at that. That's nothing to them. It doesn't mean anything. It's quite strange that you would actually even make a fucking deal about it, especially to them. They see like what Jaden had said. They see these things getting taken away that they've known as fact their whole life.
Yep. But my biggest fear are the kids who are in kindergarten and first grade, and then things that are not being shown to them as openly.
Yes.
And then what is it going to be like for them when they're 14 and 15, and the fear that they're now going to have, that was the same fear that kids had 25 years ago.
Right.
Plus.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay. The last thing that I have is that today, one of these Mar-A-Lago employees flipped.
Oh.
The one with the documents case. So the Jack Smith case that's in Miami.
Good.
There's 2 employees that were at Mar-A-Lago or 3 that were wrapped up in all of this, and one of them flipped today. He was originally had a Trump lawyer. Trump stopped paying for the lawyer, so the guy flipped. And he has implicated Trump and these 2 other employees in efforts to delete security camera footage. So he's flipping to get no charges.
Well, you know what? And he shouldn't
have charges.
He shouldn't have charges. No. If you have your boss, it's like, hey, go do this, and you don't really understand the ramification of it, and you're just an employee, and you're young, and you don't get it. Yeah. Come on.
Absolutely.
He might not know why he's deleting this and that. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready? Because I just found this story this morning.
Oh.
Tina called me yesterday and she was like, texted me, don't forget we need to record on Thursday. I was like, oh shit, I have a meeting at my daughter's school on Thursday. We went back and forth and I was like, I don't even have a story. I don't know what I'm doing.
I can't wait to hear this.
Okay, so today I am telling you about Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellis.
I feel like this might be on my list.
It might be on your list, and I know that you wouldn't have done it yet because we haven't gotten to the trial yet. So I know you usually wait, but I'm not because
who cares?
Let's do it.
It's
short and sweet, baby.
I love a short and sweet.
Okay, Robert Tellis was elected as Clark County, which is in Nevada's public administrator after winning election in 2018. The public administrator's job, because I've never heard of this job before, is to supervise the disposal of the estates of individuals who have died in Clark County. Oh. Now, apparently this was created there because, big mob money. And you know what I mean? And all the money that's there is like when somebody dies, it becomes a major fucking thing. Yeah. So where people might be fighting over.
It's Vegas. It's all those casino money, baby.
Yeah. So he ran for this. He got it. It was the first time he's ever been elected. But he only serves for a very short time because he's defeated in the June 22 Democratic primary.
Oh.
Okay. And here is why. Let's get into it.
Are you ready? Let's do it.
Dirt.
Ooh,
dirt.
I need some dirt. I love dirt.
Throw some shade. Let's go.
Woo!
So many articles are written about these rumors that were swirling around Clark County about the way that Tellis was running the public administrator's office. A series of investigative articles appeared in the Las Vegas Review-Journal written by reporter Jeff Garman. Garman had written a series of pieces about accusations that Tellis was involved in a, quote, inappropriate relationship with a female member of the public administrator's office, that he had created, quote, turmoil and internal dissension, end quote, by giving her privileges and authority over other employees that were not justified by her job description, and that in general he was an abusive boss.
Uh-oh.
So other members of the public administrator staff went so far as to videotape Tellis and the woman in question together in her Nissan Rogue at a nearby parking garage on multiple occasions.
Hey, steamy windows.
I have a link in the article to the video. It's so fucking fucked up. You see them get into the back seat, and a few minutes later they get out of the back seat, and she's like pulling her skirt down. Could you?
I'm going back to work.
Could you imagine filming?
Take a shower, girl.
Could you imagine filming your boss doing this?
Oh my god. This reminds me of the story you did of the people in their feet.
Yes, their feet. That was
dashboard.
Michigan. Yeah. Oh my god, that was one of my favorite stories.
How embarrassing.
Ooh. But these are people who work for him, right? So Germain's first Review-Journal article published in May of 2022 delicately describes one such taped encounter as a meeting between Tellis and the woman, and observes that the video, quote, appears to show two heads through the tinted black window joining together.
Oh, hey.
Afterward, each of them get out of the vehicle's back seat and leave separately. Tellis and the woman were both married to other people and have denied having an affair.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm tired of this already.
Honey, I'm going to tell everybody a secret. If I'm going in the back seat, something's happening. Yeah. You don't have to videotape me. I'll just tell you.
Oh my God. I mean...
Not that I would ever do anything like that. I would never get in the backseat of a car.
Hey.
Hold on, let me take a sip of my wine real quick.
But these two, they're at work, and they're like, let's go.
Yeah, and by
they're
the way,
up to shenanigans.
There's video interviews with him in these articles.
Is he gross?
It's not so much that he's gross. You can tell he's lying. And it's like this bullshit artist sort of like very monotone way of saying things that's really calm. And I go, it's almost creepy.
He's
how
trying
much he's
so
a bullshit
hard
artist.
to appear,
to stay not mean and not angry and just be like this. and it's just very obvious to me because I was raised by a bullshit artist that you can read it from a mile away, or I'm like, oh, he's fucking totally lying. Okay, my God. So Tellis said to Jermaine, quote, I'm actually infinitely in love with my wife, end quote. And actually in one of the videos he was like, you can go look at my social media, look at all the pictures of my wife. What? And how much I love her. He's like declaring his love all the time on social media. How does and apparently that's the moniker. And I have to tell you, when I see shit like that, I go, something's wrong with that marriage. I mean, when you're publicly declaring that much that you love somebody, we know the truth, okay? We know what's really happening. Fuck off.
Like, ew. It's
weird.
Please.
Please.
Can you imagine someone just go look? So he's carefully crafted a social media presence to cover up his affair. What a dirtbag.
Yeah, it's gross.
What a dirtbag.
So he said that all the allegations against him were false and that they had been made by veteran employees who were upset that he had asked them to meet higher standards of efficiency and professional conduct. In a letter he posted online, Tellis said that one of his requests from members of the office was that they, quote, not spend the majority of their workday chatting, end quote. Although at the time...
Oh, so you can canoodle, but they can't chat.
Right. Yeah, no chatting, but blow me in the back seat. You can do that on company time. Although at the time the first Review Journal article was published, an assistant public administrator named Rita Reed had already launched a primary campaign against him.
Uh-oh.
Also, the office only has 8 full-time employees, so it was a little awkward that she's running against him in the primary, and the other employees, like, maybe he's got the one he's fucking, and then he's got 6 other people
who can't stand him because they're not allowed to talk.
And one of them's like, we're going to take you out of this job.
Can you imagine? He's like, look, you guys are talking too much, but hold that thought. Sally and I got to go to the car for a second. It'll be 5 minutes. We'll be right back.
And she's come back and she's like...
none of you can talk.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest shit I ever heard.
Yeah.
And they have to know what's going on. It's 8 people in an office.
That's what I mean.
It's not like some huge city.
Right. So fallout from the Review Journal's articles included a hostile Facebook exchange between Tellis and his predecessor in the office about Tellis's relationship with a subordinate, which the newspaper had duly covered as well. And then, of course, Reed goes on to win this 3-way race by a narrow margin on June 14th, 2022. So she beats him in the primary, but he has to serve out the rest of his term, right?
Okay, whatever.
So she ends up actually going on and winning the seat in November 2022, which is kind of like a awesome little story, right?
Yeah, this has just happened.
Okay. So now we're going to get dark.
Uh-oh.
So after the primary loss in June, Tellis wasn't handling it well, and he became combative to Jermaine during interviews and on social media. And on September 2nd, 2022, Jeff Jermaine, the journalist, was found stabbed to death on the side of his house.
I know this story.
He was 69 years old. 4 days later, Tellis was arrested for his murder.
My God.
Goosebumps.
I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
So he's decided this is the person I'm going to blame for everything that happened. Instead of saying, wow, maybe I shouldn't have been, banging my employee. Yeah. Maybe I should have been more discreet. Maybe, there's a million different things that he could look at himself. Right. And it reminds me of your episode last week, right? Like this guy went after a judge and had a hit list of people, including a probation officer, when he had committed all these crimes, right? And yet he wants to blame everybody else who's trying to hold him accountable. Oh, that's a shame. And he blamed these articles for not being reelected and for maybe possibly ruining his marriage. Who knows? But he blamed this journalist. Oh my God! And he stabbed him. Stabbed him to death. So that's crazy. Stabbings to me, we've talked about this before. A gunshot is one thing, but stabbing someone that is just such a different level of anger. Yeah. And rage. And several times. And this is a 69-year-old guy. Dude. Who's just writing articles. He's doing his job. That's what journalists do. And again, if you didn't want this attention, maybe don't act the way that you're acting. Right. And also, he's just so combative and defensive. And I don't understand the point of that either. Same thing with the Trump stuff. You did all this shit. Yeah. There's how many counts? 94 counts against him, felony charges. Holy shit, dude. One of those things has to stick. God. Please, God. Please, God. Please, something. Okay. Jesus. So the Las Vegas Review Journal reported that police served search warrants at Tellis' home on Wednesday morning, hours before the arrest.
prosecutors...
Is this like the next day?
No, so he's murdered on a Saturday, September 2nd, and then I think it's September 6th, which is a Wednesday. That's when they
so
did
like
this.
a few days. So they're probably like, oh, who has it out for this guy? Looking at social media.
Well, also because one of the vehicles that was seen nearby was like this maroon colored Suburban, and so when all of these journalists almost immediately went, when this was found out that he was murdered, went to Tellis's house because he had such a back and forth with Jermaine all the time that they're like, or Germaine, that they thought like maybe they wanted to hear his response.
Oh, how do you
And they pull up, and what do you think they see in the fucking driveway?
No!
A fucking maroon Suburban.
You're kidding
They immediately
me.
call the police, and they're like, you might want to check on this because this is the vehicle. This is the vehicle.
This is an idiot.
Yeah.
It's out in the open.
They
Take
put
that
out
to the junkyard,
this is the vehicle
man.
we're looking
Go
for.
get that car smashed up. What a dumbass.
The journalists are calling the police like, yo, we think we know who did it.
What a dummy.
Oh, no, it gets worse.
Oh,
the evidence is fucking wild.
No.
So, they served the search warrant on Wednesday morning, hours before the arrest. Prosecutors have characterized the evidence against Tellis as overwhelming, including DNA believed to be from Tellis found beneath Jermaine's fingernails, videos showing a man believed to be Tellis walking near Jermaine's home, and a vehicle believed to be Tellis's in the area, like I described. Here's the crazy part. The video that they're talking about is a Ring doorbell from the neighbor across the street from Jermaine's home, right? And all of this evidence is presented to the grand jury. Prosecutor said the video shows Tellis, which you can watch this video online. News organizations have kept a certain part out, but the entire murder is on a fucking Ring doorbell video.
Imagine being the people across the street. Jesus.
Which the cops probably went over there and were like, is this thing on? Because,
So I didn't realize that a Ring picks up your neighbor's stuff. Like, does
so
something have to walk in front of it?
Mine used to go off all the time, and I had to change the distance because there's so many cars that go by my house that I changed it to like maybe 10 feet in front of my door.
Oh,
so it's only when someone's
like
right
distance.
in front of my. Yes, you can do distance.
Oh, so
they must have had.
Wow.
Bruh. So.
Wow.
Okay. So prosecutors said that the video shows Tellis wearing an orange jacket and straw hat. It's one of those big straw hats, that go like this. Like a fishing hat, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And there's pictures in our notes to look at that. And a straw hat as he walked to the side of Jermaine's home and entered the backyard through a side gate. Approximately 5 minutes later, after the figure in orange had entered the yard, the home's garage door opened and Jermaine could be seen wearing a light-colored shirt and walking across his driveway towards the side gate. So I don't know if he heard somebody close the gate or something, so he came out of his house to go see what the hell was going on.
Or maybe he was making noises back there that
maybe to get him to come out. So, quote, within seconds after opening the side gate, the suspect attacked the victim. Police were put in the arrest report. So, you can see all this. So, while news stations have chosen not to show footage of the actual moment of attack, the video reportedly showed Jermaine and the figure in orange struggling in the yard, and Jermaine was stabbed several times.
Oh my God.
And then the figure in orange fled the scene. So on September 4th, police executed a search warrant on Tellis's home and obtained several items of evidence indicating that he was the figure in orange. Such evidence reportedly included, this is all in the pictures too, cut up gray shoes that had been stuffed in a bag under Tellis's living room couch, a large hat similar to the one worn by the assailant that had been cut into pieces and placed in a bag inside of a toolbox in Tellis's garage, and a dark bag similar to the one carried by the figure in orange. So in the notes, you'll see what they gave to the grand jury, and they show a picture of the figure, and then all of the evidence they found that's exactly what this guy was wearing. And they found it in his house.
I would hope that in I hope no one would commit some kind of act like this, but in 2023, where we are always on camera, whether it's a red light camera, where everywhere we go, you have to just assume that you are on camera and you're going to drive your personal vehicle. Yeah. You're going to wear a bright orange shirt and some ridiculously large hat. Like
the hat comes down. So when you look at the video from the side,
he's trying to cover himself.
Yeah, it comes like you can kind of see the chin, but it does cover enough of the camera view that you can't see the person's face. But when they find the exact clothing cut up and hidden in your house somewhere,
wow.
So forensic investigators told the grand jury that Tellis's DNA was found underneath the fingernails of Jermaine's right hand. The Las Vegas Municipal Police Department forensic scientist Kimberly Dangenberger reportedly told the court that there was less than a 1 in 40 septillion chance that the DNA came from someone other than Tellus. I had to look up septillion. That's 1,000 raised to the 8th power.
Jesus. Yeah, it's you, dude.
40 to the 1,000th raised to the 8th power. That's math.
I don't even know what any of that is.
Me
All I know is that it's a lot,
yeah.
and it means you did it.
Yeah, septillion means you're fucked.
You're done.
Yeah. So, all I know is you're in trouble.
You are in so much trouble.
Bruh. So, oh god, it's so fucking fucked up. So, Tellus spoke with investigators September 7th, returning to his home in which what appeared to be a hazmat suit as reporters asked him questions. So they interviewed him. So they interviewed him. They had all this evidence. They had to present it to the grand jury before they could indict him. So he's released to go home, and we came home in a hazmat suit. As
Where do you even get a hazmat suit?
See, this is where I mean, like, I think
he's off the deep end.
He's off. So
but like, he was he ordered it off Amazon. Like, how do you even acquire a hazmat suit?
So they, I don't know.
It just is like the most ridiculous thing.
It just makes me think of Doc Brown.
It's just, like what? It's weird. And like
I saw that recently. Someone's like, does anybody think it's weird that the Iranians were running around the mall at midnight trying to get remember in the
Back to the Future? He was doing work with
and they're like shooting up the whole
Where are the police at, man?
I don't know, bro. So later on that day, he was pulled from the home on a stretcher hours later and formally arrested. Police said he had self-inflicted wounds that weren't life-threatening, so he's inside trying to hurt himself. But of course, like the girl says in that movie Girl Interrupted, if you really wanted to, you'd press down hard enough. Dark. Dark.
The grand jury book and movie.
Yeah. The grand jury indicted Tellus on 1 count of open murder with a deadly weapon of a person over the age of 60, which apparently is a harsher sentence, right?
Oh.
He pleaded not guilty and is reportedly representing himself.
Oh God! Please, because we have to have an update.
Hits keep on coming.
I gotta have an update after because, my God, it's like in that jury duty. Remember the guy?
Yeah.
Could you state your name, please? And then he runs.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like that?
Yes. His trial was scheduled to begin April 17th, 2023, but it has been postponed several times because he keeps filing these misconduct accusations on behalf of the police as if they had treated him differently or they fucked up the evidence. But still.
But you said he was married, so was his wife home? Like when they come to the house, or
I didn't really read a lot about who was there.
Or maybe she was like bye after all the affair stuff came out.
Maybe.
You know, like maybe everything just went to shit. Like his marriage went to shit, his job went to shit. Like, and then he just felt like I have nothing, and this is my only course of action.
I mean, really, it's not because of the articles; it's because of his behavior. But really, he lost everything. Like he had this position which he had never even been elected before. It was like a random.
That's so weird.
You know. So of course he's a Democrat too. God damn it. The new court date is set for November 6th, 2023.
Wow.
So I'm going to set a Google alert.
Yeah.
To this guy's name.
I mean.
So we can get some information.
Yeah, I had this on my list. I remember this story and, you're right. I'm like, I would have waited.
Date.
And I think I looked it up recently to see, like, did this trial finally happen yet? And then, no, it didn't because he's a nut.
Yeah. P.S. I just had an email from Sun Sentinel, which is our newspaper. Deadly helicopter crash leads to plans to buy new aircraft with $15 million.
Oh, now they have the money.
A Broward Sheriff's rescue helicopter that crashed into a building last week, killing 2 people and sending 4 others to the hospital, has resulted in the county plans to set aside $15 million to replace the aircraft.
Can't replace those people, though.
Yeah, you better save some of that money.
I can't replace those people.
There's lawsuits coming.
Too little, too late.
$15 million.
I mean, it's a lot
set
of
aside
money.
From where?
But if they had it set aside, that means they had it to begin with, right?
Yeah, true.
They found a way.
Yeah.
They found a way.
Like my boyfriend
sick of it all.
And future ex-husband Jeff Goldblum says,
life
will find a way.
He is a cutie.
Let me finish this wine real quick.
Transylvania 65000.
Oh my God, I love that movie! What's the guy's name that's in that with him, the blonde guy? Oh my God, I love him so much.
I like to watch.
Do you know he takes the bus to the Oscars every year?
Jeff Goldblum.
No, the guy who was in that movie with him. What's his name? Fuck. Ed Begley Jr.
Oh, Ed Begley Jr. That's who it is.
That little
movie
marble
is
was still in my head from
so
Ed Begley
ridiculous,
Jr.
so funny. I used to love watching it as a kid.
What about the one with Dan Aykroyd where he was a judge and he had that weird nose?
Oh wait, it's called oh god, like Dead End.
Oh my god,
it's Demi Moore is in it.
Demi Moore is in it, and there was somebody else.
Dan Aykroyd. And it's like this creepy town.
Oh, they land there and they do. And the guy who sings.
I used to watch that all the time. It's not like Dead End something.
Do the hump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Nothing but trouble.
Yes. Oh my god, I need to watch this.
My god, my sister would shit herself right now if she fucking saw that.
I have not seen it, and he was so ugly.
Oh, Chevy Chase!
Yeah, Chevy Chase was in it. Yes.
Oh, it's so John Candy.
Yes.
But look.
My kids love John Candy. It's so good.
God. And
I'm watching
this.
This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing this weekend. I'm gonna watch this with my kids.
And they get really close to Dan Aykroyd's nose, and it's like a penis. Oh my god! Such a great movie.
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
But good.
You know what? This is why we need the 90s. We need these weird 90s movies. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. It's the best stuff. Come on.
It is the best stuff.
What else? See, this is what I mean. Midweek is like...
No, midweek is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well...
Oh, we gotta record a Patreon.
We gotta do Patreon. Are you on our Patreon? Because you're missing out.
I mean, can you please...
What did we talk about last week? I told everybody about my homeowner's mortgage and how that's going.
No, but we talk about a lot of important things.
We do?
You get an inside look.
We do Sopranos quiz. We do Phoebe Bridgers quizzes.
Yes, you get a sneak peek into our lives. I mean, what?
Titty shots.
Well, I mean, maybe not that, but hey.
We might be desperate enough soon.
I mean, it's audio.
Tina, I'll do it. Don't worry. I won't sign you up for that, Tina.
Thank you.
Oh, God. Swine is so fucking good.
It's so good. All right, well.
Bye.